Every year we have a different experience.
I mean, I've got my mullet right on the edge.
Everything's with them. Sharks, jacks, mackerel, ladyfish, bluefish. The Mullet Run is one of the most spectacular spectacles in fishing. It's like the Serengeti. Every fall, I find myself back at home. After months of traveling, some great adventures with friends, really interesting and unique destinations, and some great fish catches.
Storm, come on, Storm, let's go.
But I always love coming home. And whether that was in Wyoming or now here in Vero. Girls, we're gonna stop and get a couple breakfast sandwiches. Gonna head down to Fort Pierce. And you remember where we caught all those snook last time?
Yes.
We're gonna stop right there.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Sounds like a plan, good. But the thing about coming home to Vero is the Mullet Run.
I got a tarpon there. I got a tarpon.
It's a giant!
There's a big wad coming. Yeah.
Woo! This is unbelievable. This is insane.
They hit
Still coming.
the anchor right here.
The Mullet Run is one of the most spectacular spectacles in fishing. Look at it blowing up out here. Look at it.
Like if
We're
you see one-
talking about not thousands, but millions of mullet on a migration from north to south, and everything ends up here in Florida.
Yeah.
There's something bigger waking in them right there. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's not the mullet that we're fishing for. It's really all the apex predators that are targeting that mullet.
Oh.
We're right there.
Oh, there it is.
I'm leaving it open.
Yeah.
We're tripled up.
Tripled up.
It was like the Serengeti. Unbelievable. Peyton, what do you want to catch today? Oh, you want to get a shark. Look at the school of mullet right there on the corner. Nice school of mullet. So to me, the fall means coming home. I love the traveling, but what I love more is being able to come home to the farm, to the family, and the animals. Really super excited to be back with y'all, and even more excited that y'all wanted to go fishing today. I have a relationship with my girls. It's fatherly, and it's loving, and it's wonderful, but it's also about sharing experiences. I think we're gonna head out and take a look at the inlet first.
All right, that sounds good.
Tide's coming in. Maybe some mullet are coming in the inlet. You know, all of us as parents have a responsibility to our children. And for me, I believe it's exposing them to as many things as I can and help them make the right choices. You know, one of the things that makes this area, that really makes it the fishery that it is having these inlets, and then having the Indian River kind of is our inshore fishery. So it doesn't really matter what the conditions are, we've always got something to do. The unique thing that this area around Vero Beach has to offer, I have two inlets, north and south. I have the entire beach. The offshore fishing opportunities out of Vero can be great, but I always have the opportunity to come in and fish the river. You know, so girls, we're looking for what we've been seeing, those fish either breaking or the schools of mullet running from the fish chasing them. You know, both girls have gotten to catch a lot of fish, but for me, one of the most memorable catches that the girls have had, especially Peyton, was a bonnethead shark.
Come on, you gotta use your bait.
You got it, baby! You got it! And what that was a fish that she did everything by herself. She saw the fish. She pitched the shrimp tip jig to that fish. She worked it in front of it. She got the bite. She set the hook. She fought the fish the whole time by herself. Experienced all of that, and how proud she was of that moment, that she knew she did everything by herself. That was the defining moment in fishing for her, and knowing and having the confidence that she can do it all by herself. I think it might be one of your biggest fish.
Yeah, definitely.
The Obsession of Carter Andrews is brought to you by Yeti Coolers, built for the wild. Nissan, innovation that excites. Mercury Marine, go boldly. Yozuri, fish the best. Costa, see what's out there. And by Shimano.
You're gonna take your finger off, you're gonna let that fish run to about the count of 3, okay? 1, 2, 3. You're gonna close the bail and you're just gonna start reeling. As a father, I'm really enjoying spending time with my girls and watching them grow up. They're all out in here. This is kind of a flat out here on the outside. Up until recently, all of that has been stuff that I'm really comfortable with, but things are starting to change, especially with Haley. All right, so tell me about this party. The dance. Haley is now 15 years old, and she is going to a party tonight.
It's her quinceañera, so it's her turning 15.
Oh, wow. So is this a big deal?
Yes.
Sounds like there are going to be boys there. Dance with boys?
Well, I'm not sure how they've played. Well, I don't know, because there's a lot of stuff that...
I was sweating before, but I'm really sweating now. Well, I'm a little concerned about where this is all headed. So, actually, Haley, I'm thinking maybe I should go to that party as a chaperone, just to make sure. But as a father, I believe that you just have to, you teach them the best you can and let them go. Unfortunately, she wants to quit fishing and go get dressed. I don't spend a lot of time at home much anymore. I love being at home, but I've been on the road literally 75 out of the past 90 days. So having the opportunity to take Haley and Peyton out with me was a really big deal. We didn't catch any fish though. There's one thing that I can guarantee about the mullet run is these mullet are always moving. It's a migration. You never know where they're gonna be. Now I'm meeting my buddy Ryan Weir, and we're gonna take a run up the beach. The wind has totally dropped off, and we're gonna go out there and see if the mullet are on the beach. Ryan! What's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Thanks for making the effort.
Anytime.
Haley had to go to some dance tonight.
Dance?
So we only got a morning together. And I didn't get enough because we had tough fishing.
Really?
Yeah, I want to go run the beach and see what we can find.
Let's go check it out.
Over the past few years, I've made a lot of good friends in Vero, and somebody's always willing to get in the boat and go fishing.
Did you see the splash?
On the beach or further out?
It was like in line, straight, 12 o'clock.
You sure it was a tarpon?
It was a tarpon or a ray.
The fish that get on these schools of mullet, everything from sharks, jacks, snook, tarpon. I've even had great kingfish on these schools of mullet in just 6 and 8 feet of water. I mean, he said they were barely moving. He said they'd be somewhere between John's Island. Everything has to line up pretty perfectly to have a really good mullet run. And it's the first signs of the mullet run. I was hoping they were gonna be out here. You may have a school that's there today and gone tomorrow. There are a lot of great things about living in this area. The fact that we can come out and fish the beach, fish the river, fish the inlets, and fish offshore. I mean, I've got 4 really diverse fisheries. I've spent a lot of time fishing the mullet run with a number of different people. Come on, baby. The mullet run in Central Florida. Tripled up. That was unbelievable.
Oh my God, you see the size of that one?
Did you just throw it in the hole? That's it? Wow, I didn't expect to see you
Yeah, baby.
this early. Thanks for coming.
Yes, sir.
I saw a little bit of something on the beach yesterday, so we might get lucky. But there are 2 guys in particular have spent quite a bit of time with me, and that's Christian Jurgens and Scott Crippen.
There goes a roll.
A definite roll?
Yeah, 100%.
Every year we have a different experience. You know, there are a lot of fish in here.
Yeah.
If you don't cast to the rollers,
Right.
and you're just fishing blind, it's not quite as effective, but it's sitting here. I spend 10 months of the year thinking about the mullet run and thinking about what different techniques I can do that would make a difference next year. So Christian,
Sir.
I've got some 5-0s
Yeah.
on a thinner wire, and I've got 6-0s on a heavier
6.
hook. And all of a sudden, when that time comes and we try to apply the new ideas, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But we've got a school of small baits like anchovies that we find earlier in the year, kind of August, September. But it's loaded with tarpon all on the outside of here. I mean, literally every few seconds there's one rolling.
I mean, I've got my mullet right on the edge, on top, like a sitting duck. Just got right in your strike zone. Heck, all they gotta do is open up to eat those little guys and get my guy in their mouth.
You know, I've caught them on the outsides of these schools
Yeah.
to adjust what we're doing. You know, it comes down to the fact that during the mullet run, the fish like eating mullet. But you need to make your bait a little bit different than the other million mullets. So as exciting as that looked right there, and it was, fishing those minnows, I look up the beach and I see another giant school of bait. I'm thinking it's mullet. Well, actually, I didn't see the bait. I saw the fish cartwheeling through it first, and then I noticed a big dark spot. So I'm gonna go up here and just see if this isn't something a little bit easier for us to catch fish off of. Those tarpon in there are so specific on what they're eating. The bait's about this big. And, you know, that term, match the hatch, that's what's going on right there. And
I'm gonna throw the good old mullet and match the hatch. And Carter will probably throw a lure because he loves throwing his lures. What do you got, Carter?
they're shining right here pretty good.
Oh, look at that roller right in front of us.
Look at all the mullet. Can't believe, looking at this. This is smaller mullet than we saw earlier this morning, but it's just amazing. I was introduced to the mullet run that it was a great time to catch tarpon. Come on, Silver King, be there. It ate a giant mullet, right?
Yeah. Acting kind of sharky. Come up.
It is acting weird, isn't it?
Right. Like really weird.
That being said, I don't really catch tarpon during the mullet run. It seems like we catch everything but tarpon.
Jeez,
I think he's got a
Louise.
shark. Christian, is it a shark?
Yeah, it's gotta be. I mean, he'd have jumped by now.
Unbelievable the amount of mullet there on the beach right now. Everything's with them. sharks, jacks, mackerel, ladyfish, bluefish, and tarpon. We just can't get bit by the tarpon.
I got the great white shark.
What do you think?
I'm thinking shark, but
Yeah, the shark should have bitten through that.
yeah. There it is, big shark.
Is it a big shark?
Yeah, big shark. Yeah, buddy. There he is.
Huh?
That's, there you go. Hey,
Huh?
that was a big one.
Got to go through everything to get a tarpon.
Oh,
Let's get back on that school.
yeah. That was fun.
With all the mullet that went by, it looked like it carried some of the tarpon off
Hey, another one just rolled.
this bait school right here, but that mullet, there's not much on him right now, so we're back up here on this little bait, see if the tarpon are still here. So many times in the past, when we found scenarios like this, and there were some tarpon on the outside of the bait balls, and you have a tarpon rolling, we can cast to the tarpon and get bit on those rollers. Stay away from the fish that are focused in and feeding hard on a specific bait. Cast to the rollers. But
Watch, like right here. They're just rolling right on that outside edge.
not this time.
The Obsession of Carter Andrews is brought to you by CV Boats, Lead the Way, Cuda Fishing Tools, Fierce, Tough, Proven, Ray Marine, Simply Superior, Traeger Wood-Fired Grills, Taste the Wood-Fired Difference, Power Pole, Shallow Water Anchors, and by TH Marine. Additional support provided by the following brands.
Think about these schools of mullet that are traveling down a beach with no obstructions. And when they come to a jetty sticking out and they have to swim around that jetty, that's a big obstruction. Something's gonna happen. Everybody gets kind of jostled up. The same thing happens at a pier. So it's not always appropriate to get close to people unless you ask. And these guys over here, you know, I noticed that they caught a couple nice snook when the mullet school came through. And I just had to ask if we could post up beside them and catch a couple snook. And it's not always appropriate to pull in beside somebody and fish. But when you know them and you say, pretty please, a lot of times it works out.
Yeah, they're in definitely the money spot. These snook just sit under the pier here and just wait for schools of mullet to come by.
You know, I like to give everybody their room, but I was really fortunate that these guys invited us on in to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, Carter. Get him.
That's not much. Got a gray snapper.
Yeah. That's a nice one.
Might take that home for the girls to eat. What do you got?
Something.
Huh?
Something. Little jack.
Boy,
All right.
these guys beside us are catching snook, and you and I are catching like little snapper and little jacks.
Well,
Huh?
maybe they're the pros.
Is that fishing?
That's fish.
All right, that's fishing. You have a pier sticking out with all these pilings, and you all of a sudden have a school of bait that comes down and swims through the pier, and there are all kinds of ambush points.
Oh, get him, Carter. Get him. What you got? We need the net.
Hey, the net's in the front, left, front right.
Okay.
Nice snook right here, Christian.
I'm working on it. There we go. What you got? Snooky? Good snooky. Oh yeah. That's a nice snook. Woo! There
Thanks,
you
boys.
go. There, that's a good one.
Might have to let him go.
Wow, that's a beautiful fish.
Look how clean they are. You know, the ones that live on the ocean.
So white and just
Aren't they?
clean, yeah. Oh. Look at that.
Huh?
That is a beauty.
Wow. Gotta love that.
He might.
Huh?
He might be worth putting on the measuring board.
I'm gonna let him go though.
All right.
Doing my part.
All right. All right.
You know, these fish that are in the ocean right now on the beaches, you see how clean they are, how white they are? Just absolutely a gorgeous fish right there. You know, I'm not even gonna measure this one. I think he's a little over. But I think I'd probably let him go anyway.
He's a pretty one though. Good job of getting him out. He was one to get you back in those pilings.
There we go.
Nice work, Carter.
It might not be the tarpon we were after in the mullet run, but they're certainly eating because of the mullet run.
Yes.
All the mullet piling underneath this,
It's
perfect, buddy.
the endless buffet line. All you can eat.
The mullet run definitely isn't the most productive time of year to be catching tarpon and some of the other species. But what the mullet run is for me, what takes me back year after year after year, is to be able to be a part of this piece of nature.
You know what,
Son.
Christian? That was pretty fun.
That was-
Today was
yeah.
great. Got to see a little bit more of the mullet run.
Snapper.
Some snapper, a little bit of mixed
Jacks.
bag.
It was great.
But you know what I'm doing now?
Cocktail hour.
Well, no, I'm going home to feed the animals. And then I'll pour a cocktail.